Let's talk about the names, who they were. First of all, you have Jesus, son of Joseph. You've got Maria, Matthew, Mariamne y Mara, Judas, son of Jesus, and Joseph, who are all found in this tomb. And let's start with a little bit of what we said last week of why these names do not constitute what the folks in the special were claiming.
Well, several of the names either don't have any evidence for being a part of Jesus' family, either from the New Testament or outside of it, or there are questions about the associations that have been made. There are four that are basically non-starters. You've got your James ossuary number 10, which was a plain ossuary found in the tomb, but obviously the James ossuary has an inscription on it. So either
and it's also decorated.
That's right. So if the James ossuary is not authentic, if the actual inscription isn't authentic, then it doesn't count. And if it is authentic, it doesn't count.
And you had just lunch with Professor Kloner, who was the original archaeologist on this, and he said the dimensions don't match.
That's right. We were in his living room actually in one evening, and he actually showed me his original notes and everything. So that name's a non-starter. Matthew's a non-starter, not a member of the family. Mariamne y Mara is a non-starter because there's no way to connect her to Mary Magdalene, and the suggestion that Jesus is married has no evidence in it. And once you do that, then you lose Judas, son of Jesus, because if it's a son of Jesus, it's not a son of Jesus of Nazareth, it's a son of Jesus of Talpiot.
Right. Let's talk, before we go on, let's talk about Mariamne y Mara. We've got two friends, basically, Tal Alan, and we got Dr. Stephen Fong, president of the University of Holy Land. And both of them were used in the special and came out with a different take on Mariamne y Mara. Want to talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about Tal Alan for a second because she's important to this discussion. She is the woman who cataloged all the names in this period. So all our statistics that we know about names and how frequent they are come from her study, which everyone uses around the world. In fact, the book is affectionately known in the scholarly world as the phone book. And so she has come out and said with regard to this inscription, it's one person and one person only. Whereas Stephen Fong has come out and said, well, no, I think there are two hands here and it could well be two names, that we had one name to begin with and then another one was added later. This is going to continue to be debated, I think is the long and short of it, although my own take is that if you actually look at the inscriptions, that Tal Alan may have a little better of the case here and that we're only dealing with one person.
So what does Mariamne y Mara then mean?
It would mean that Mariamne is her name. By the way, this is a Greek name. It's not a Hebrew name. Every other inscription in here is Hebrew. Mary is from Migdal in the region of Galilee. Galilee is considered to be one of the least Hellenized areas of the Judea-Galilean region. And so what is she doing with a Greek name? And then the second name probably means miss. It's a roundabout way of a term of respect, a way of qualifying who she is. Although the special claim that it means master and that it shows that she had a key role. But to do that, you've got to read a Greek name with an Aramaic name, and you've got to be pretty sophisticated to pick that up.
Or another way of saying it is, why are you translating it in Aramaic when it was written in Greek? Because it doesn't mean that in Greek. They're just importing a meaning. It'd be like saying, well, this is what it means in Russian. The fact is it has nothing to do with this tomb.
Yeah, it involves in some way some kind of a transliteration, and you're sitting here going, why would you do this? Why would you have someone with a Greek name having an Aramaic nickname? Now, you could say, oh, it's a bilingual culture. Yeah, but then the question becomes, then why isn't the inscription in Semitic like all the other ones? So, what you find at every step with this special is that virtually every step has an if in it. And almost all the ifs have to line up and all the dots connect before you can even entertain the theory. But the problem is that several of these dots are questionable. So if you start erasing dots, you can't connect them.
In other words, you're saying, okay, 4 or at least 3 out of the 6 are non-starters. They shouldn't be there at all. And if they import James in there, that's a 4th one that shouldn't be in there because the bone boxes don't match.
And all of a sudden your 6 or 7 names are really down to 3. And the fact is that the 3 that you're left with are very, very common names. Joseph, Mary, and Jesus.